Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to take you through a how to play tutorial, just doing some basics. So I'm going to load up a game with a roster that I made against just an AI, and just kind of walk you through some of the basics of
Now it's a
Moonbreaker,
party.
coming to Steam very soon. So as you see, both
Yep,
captains will
it's
drop
all
into the map
supernatural.
to start.
Got something?
As you can see, I have
Friendship's
my captain
here.
here, and you'll pull a
Gang's
few of
all
your
here.
units into your bridge, and then you'll immediately choose an assist. So how this works is this is essentially a your ship is in air and you're dropping down to the moon is the lore behind this, and you get two abilities for that ship to use. So you pick them together. Um, so this first option is Charge Nano Shield and Medical Recall, and you'll see their abilities here, and you can highlight over them with your cursor and it'll tell you what any yellow words would do. So you can see give an ally invulnerable for a turn will allow that ally to take no damage. Down here you have Plink on the left and Stowaway, which is Reinforce, which will show you Reinforce moves the next unit from the reserve to the bridge. And then even from below that, it'll define reserve, then it'll define bridge, then it'll define crew, which we'll get into in a second. These dots that you see are actually the cooldown, so how many rounds it takes before you can use those again. And they're not requiring any cinder, which is the mana of this game. So for simple sake, I will take that, and we'll start the game. So you can use the right mouse button to click in and drag across the screen, or just use WASD to move around the map, and you'll see my hero on this side and their hero or captain on that side. Every unit has abilities, so you can clearly just click on this unit with a left click, and then you can look at their abilities here. You'll see he's a captain. Destroy the captain to win the game, it'll say. He has back off, push target when he hits, so that's easy. And then he has two other abilities. Create a sleeper mine, it takes one turn to arm, and move units in an area together. These both have an orange icon. That is Cinder. Cinder is essentially your mana of this game. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll have one Cinder to start on the first turn. When you get to the second, you'll have two, and that's indicated by this little blue dot of how many you'll have next turn, all the way up to 7. And then there's these 3 on the right, which are called Banked Cinder. So if you do not spend any Cinder, you can bank up to 3 of that Cinder for the next turn. If you're familiar with Legends of Runeterra, actually, it's very similar. Saving mana in that game works in a very similar way to this. So that is Cinder in explaining base mana. The other thing with units, when you click on it, again, we have the same unit here. They'll have their abilities down here, but this 2 that is in blue with a crosshair shows that it's a ranged unit, and the number next to it is the amount of health that unit has. You see the green circle around will show you the actual movement my unit can do. You can click move or Z, and then you can move your unit anywhere within these ranges here. And if you're going to attack, you could hit this ranged attack and then do it, but when there's no targets available in sight, it will not let you do so. That is showing the very basics of what you're going to start the game with. And in the bottom left and right, you'll have your abilities. I picked Plink, which is restore 1 health or to an ally, or deal 1 to a rival, which is an enemy. And again, I can use this every single turn, so there's no reason not to shoot the enemy for 1, because it only has 1 yellow dot here, so that means you can use it every single turn. This other one, which is Reinforced Stowaway, that has 2 dots, which means you can use it every other turn.
Just look like
that
you're
is the
thinking.
basics of everything that starts on the screen, but you have a really important menu down here called the bridge. The bridge is essentially like your hand in a card game. These are current units that you can deploy to the field right now. You can you do bring in a total of 10 units, so you have not including your captain. So you have your captain and 10 units. You'll start with your bridge. We'll have 3 of them here, and you have 7 more in your reserve. So there's the bridge, which is your current hand, the reserve, which is like your deck in a card. And to the left, you have Reinforce, which is just like what this ability says to do with Reinforces. It adds essentially lets you draw a card. It adds a random character or a crew, which is a non-captain unit, from your reserve into your bridge, so you have access to play them. Now, they'll give you, you can highlight over them to tell you their full stats. Some have status effects, so this guy, Broken Vengeance, has a status effect called Revenge. When he is attacked, he'll immediately attack back. Others have their own abilities that also cost Cinder, just like some abilities on your captain cost Cinder. Some of these will cost Cinder as well. And at the bottom, you'll see their cost to actually summon them, 2, 4, 2. So I don't have enough
Drake's
Cinder
just
to do
coming
anything,
right
so I'm
through
going to
me.
move up. If this is not highlighted, I don't have line of sight to see this man because of this hard cover. You see, you highlight over it, it blocks movement and sight. When you click on a highlight over this, it says soft cover, blocks movement and reduces accuracy. So that means it's actually harder to shoot through it, but it's not completely blocking line of sight. So if his captain was behind here, I'd be able to shoot. Now, I have different options. I have 2 abilities on my captain, but I am not going to use either of them. I'm going to save my 1 mana, so I'll end my turn, and you'll see the opponent gets to go now. He's going to move over, and I won't show an entire game, but I'll show at least a few turns as we go. So he used Plink, which was healing 1, and he summoned a unit in front of me. So now we can actually look at our first unit. Again, clicking on the unit will show us here. This is a crew member, so his health is only 6 health. You can see the 6 red bars above his head, or just the number 6 here. And a 1, but it has 6 spikes on the outside, and it's in yellow. That shows that the unit is melee. That means they literally must be touching another unit to perform their attack. He also has an ability. You can see, you click on it, and it says gain +3 attack and first strike this turn. So this unit is now on the board. There is like a summoning sickness effect. When units are summoned, they come in stunned, so they can't immediately do anything, like attack or anything like that. They have to come in, wait for a turn, and then they can act after that. At the top of the screen also, you'll see your opponent's stats here. So this will show you their bridge, their reserve, how much mana they have stacked up, their icon. You can mute them if you want to emote, because you can click on this to emote as well. And then you'll see their assist, and once they use both, they'll both be revealed. But for now, he's only used 1, so only 1 is revealed. So it's our turn. So I'm going to summon a character. I will summon a character slightly behind this cover. I will use my ranged attack to shoot that guy and push him back a little bit, and then I will summon a mine.
Well, it's been a blast.
And I will blink him with my final ability. So it's my assist coming down to do 1 damage, and now I have a mine. Essentially, this character works. This guy's name is Zax. He summons these mines, and after a turn, they're armed. If anyone touches them, they'll take some damage, but you can push things into different areas. So you'll go back and forth simply from that. Grasp. And you'll go to his turn, back to my turn as you go, and you'll gain 1 mana or 1 cinder each turn as you go. And the goal of the game here is to just eliminate his opponent, his captain.
Every beat strikes a spark.
Once their captain is defeated, you will automatically win the game. So you'll see how they just summoned another unit here. Now I have this unit who has multiple different options. So just like your captain, moving and attacking is free. But this character also has a move and an attack, and she has her own ability as well, which gives a ranged ally plus 40 accuracy for 2 turns. So I can spend 1 to give them additional accuracy, which is pretty cool. For now, I'm going to try to finish off this guy with 2 health left, but I missed, so it's unfortunate. Again, every attack has a rate of hit, so you see as I'm shooting these characters, this has an 87% success rate. This has 62 because I'm shooting through a unit. So you'll have reduced success rate as you shoot. That's the negative effect of range attacks. Melee attacks don't suffer those same consequences. So I'm going to use her ability on myself to give me additional accuracy. Now I know I will hit that person 100%, and I'll finish off that unit with Plink. So now that unit is destroyed, and I would like to summon another unit down at the bottom of the screen here. So that would be a basic turn there. They would then go back and forth, and I believe that is pretty much everything you need to know to actually finish and play a game. You'll continuously go back and forth. You'll see that now one of his units is dead, another one's summoned. So he summoned 2 units total. 1 is now dead, and you start with 10. There's 2 in his hand, 6 in the reserve. The one that we killed does not go back to his reserve, so it's not like you all replenish that unit. So it's actually defeated from the game. So you can wither your opponents down by defeating all their units, so all they're left with is their captain. And then you'll go back and forth as you go. If you end up needing more cards, like right now I only have 1 in my bridge, well, this ability actually lets me just immediately draw 1 from my deck to my hand without spending the 3 cinder to reinforce. Other than that, there's a bunch of small intricacies about melee attacks. You have to be next to the person to actually cause a melee attack. All these assists have vastly different abilities of pushing people away, and you're just a fight to the death to defeat the opposing hero. Once you do, you end up winning the game. If you guys have any questions about the gameplay, feel free to leave it in the description below. Gladly can try to help out as we learn this new game of Moonbreaker. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a subscription, and I will talk to you guys next time.